Welcome to From Caving In to Crushing It, the podcast for those who find themselves immersed in adversity and choose to write their story instead of having others write it for them. I'm Drew Durrani, and I'm your host. Candice, so great to see you.
It's so great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure, and I appreciate being on your podcast. That was so much fun. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, I always thank the person who introduced me to my guest. So, Rob Wentz, thank you, sir, for introducing me to Candice. I know why you did. She's awesome, and so I want to thank you, pal. Um, Audience knows I always start this out by talking about when we're young, we're taught that life is linear. Our family, they don't mean any malicious intent by it. They want it to be for us, and for the most part, if we do A plus B plus C, D is going to happen, and life was linear for a while until it wasn't. There's always a defining moment, an external circumstance that comes in between one of those letters and kind of changes our path from a straight one to a little circuitous one. When that happens, that's when we say adversity happened. And when adversity rears its ugly head, I believe there's three types of women out there. You have woman number one who's got a ton of blind spots. She doesn't even notice the adversity. She just lives life the way she's been told to live it, and nothing changes, and that's it. And I don't have woman number one on the show. Now, woman number two, on the other hand, has a heightened self awareness. She notices the adversity, yet she's not ready to take it on. She says that adversity is a barrier. I'm the victim. Life, it is what it is. Everybody else is to blame. I have no control over changing things. So she doesn't change anything. And on her deathbed, she's got so many regrets. All right. I don't have woman number two on this show. I have woman number three on this show. It's Candice Snyder. Woman number three sees the adversity, yet she says, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. So she decides to do something different, take it head on, take massive action, do something differently. I mean, she becomes a stronger woman on the other side. So, with that, Candice, if you could reach back as far as you need to for that defining moment, whether it was the tap on the shoulder, the whisper in the ear, or like I needed, 2x4 upside my head, that transformed you from the woman you used to be to the woman you are now, and how that proactive change changed you personally and professionally.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to, high school
Mhm.
growing up. And my dad was the father that said, I'm not going to pay for college for you to take time and space. You're going to pick a major. You're going to pick something that you will always be able to have a job, fall back on if you decide to leave for a period of time to have a family,
Mhm.
and something that's always needed.
Got it.
So I ended up going to dental hygiene school, and it just so happened my dad worked at a dental company at the time.
Mhm.
So, and there was a dental hygienist on the board of the company, and he's like, her name was Regina.
Uh-huh.
He was like, you're going to talk to Regina. This is the best thing for you. And really, back then, I was considering like liberal arts
Mhm.
and maybe going to law school.
Oh, okay.
But that was just like not happening. In his eyes, that was just not going to happen. And I know it's because it really came from a place of love because
Yeah.
he wanted the best because he
Mhm.
didn't have that growing up.
Right.
But it wasn't the best for me.
Right.
So, I always talk about, passion and purpose and possibility.
Mhm.
And I was never passionate about being a dental hygienist.
Right.
And then, fast forward 14 years as a hygienist, I got injured on the job. That was a life-changing injury for me.
Uh-huh.
I already had a bad back and fell off a broken dental chair. And when that happened,
Mhm.
it was so bad that I couldn't be a hygienist anymore.
Mhm.
And I ended up with two back surgeries over the years,
Oh
two
my
big
God.
ones.
Yeah.
Um, but a big part of me, I felt I was like that was my identity.
Mhm.
My identity was, yeah, I was a wife and mom, but I was no longer this hygienist that had this purpose of taking care of other people. And
Right.
I ran the dental department, the dental hygiene department. And so I really didn't know who I was.
Right.
So during this injury or recuperation and finally getting a full diagnosis, um, I had to figure out who I was.
Mm.
Right? So through this time, I discover direct sales.
Okay.
Okay, so I was making my own jewelry and I
Wow.
found this article in one of the magazines
Mhm.
that, gives you patterns and things like that.
Right.
And it was for this company and I fell in love with these earrings
Oh, wow.
and I called. No, I filled out the form because it wouldn't let you just order. You had to go
Okay.
through somebody.
All right.
So this rep gets in contact with me and she's so excited about what she does and
Yeah.
how she connects to all these women and she has all these friends. And I was like, okay, I'll sign up without even seeing a pair of earrings,
Wow.
without any piece of jewelry. And I jumped in and I did that for almost 10
Oh,
years.
wow.
And I loved it because I now had a purpose and
Mhm.
was, connected to making all these friends.
Right.
Um, but the biggest part of that was the personal growth that you
Sure.
get through direct sales, which
Right.
is, as controversial as direct sales, multi-level marketing is,
Hmm.
a really good part of that is the personal
It
growth.
is. It's true.
So then the company decides to sell.
Oh, no.
And I was just about to do my 10-year walk across the stage and get this award. And
Yeah.
so that didn't happen because they
Oh,
canceled the conference. And I really thought like that was the end of dental,
right. Direct sales.
direct sales. I know you said you were gonna like not edit
No, we're
anything.
not. This is fun. This is real life.
Yeah. Yeah, real life.
Yep.
So, a friend reached out to me and she's like, I have an opportunity. I want you to come to my house and learn about this. And it was for another company, which I'm still with.
Uh,
And I was like, well, this is pretty in alignment with the fact that I have a science background,
sure.
right? Because this was hair care, skincare,
Okay.
wellness. So I was like, okay. And I was like, I really could use a community. That's the reason I joined. So
Sure.
see, I've been with them for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Good.
But the big turning point came when this company has something called a gratitude ambassador program.
Okay.
And that means that if you're an ambassador, you're representing the company in the field for their give back efforts.
Okay.
So I said, I'm gonna apply for this.
Hmm.
So at the time, it was a very lengthy application, and as I'm going through it, I'm like, I've been doing this my whole life. This is what my parents instilled in me. We
Mm,
took everybody in, right?
right.
My dad would take the kids in that, they were not getting along with their families,
Yeah.
or he would go buy all the football equipment for the
Oh,
kids that couldn't
wow.
afford it.
Yeah.
And so I get to the last question, and it asks me if I'm a particular rank in the company. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, I hit the rank, but I'm not maintaining the rank. But you know
Right.
what? If nothing else, I just learned who I am.
There you go.
Hit the submit button, wasn't expecting anything to happen. So this was 2020.
Okay. All right.
And so conference was virtual.
Okay.
And I'm sitting here at my desk in my office, and I have a big screen TV on my above the desk, and I'm watching the conference virtually, and my picture's right in the middle of the screen.
Whoa.
And I was like, I was shocked. I think I was crying because I was just in shock that
Yeah.
that this actually happened.
Yeah.
So at the time, I was like one of 25 ambassadors chosen, and it's a year-long commitment.
Wow.
And when my 1 year was, I mean, it was the best year. I loved what I was doing.
Oh, that's great.
They used to joke and say, if this could be my full-time job, that
Yeah.
that that would be my job.
That's great.
So when my 1 year was up, I was kind of sad about it.
Um,
And my then life slash business coach, she said, you know what? You should have a podcast. And that's because we were listening to somebody give a seminar on podcasting for your business.
right.
And I was like, I hate technology. That I can never do this. And she's like, I'm telling you, are you writing this down? Are you taking notes? This is what you should be doing next.
Wow.
And so I spoke with the person who gave the seminar. She had a podcast school. And said, I don't think I can do this. I hate technology. And she said, if I can do this, you can do this, and nobody gets left behind. And in 30 days, you will have a podcast.
Okay.
And it has been the best decision I've ever
For you.
made. Yeah. It's like having a coach every time I talk to somebody.
And that's true. I hadn't thought of it that way because you do learn something every day. Even if you ask the
Yeah.
same question to different guests, their replies bring the conversation always to a different place. So it's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's you. So what are you doing? So with all that, what your especially your father instilled in you. Um, are you taking any skills from the dental hygienist life that you apply with the direct sales life and with the podcasting life?
Oh, yes, because it's still about service
Hmm.
and relationships,
Okay.
right? It's always about the one-on-one
Sure.
relationship. So those
Absolutely.
definitely carry over. Um, I would say too that, the longer you've been in business,
Hmm.
just the business of people,
Yeah.
the more you learn about people and emotional intelligence. And so I'm able to, bring that all together.
That's a good point. So tell me a little about the podcast that you have. I know I was on it, but in your words, like I know why you started it because the coach told you to, but you still must have passion behind it because passion is one of the words in the title of your podcast.
Yes. So, I mean, really, it started because when I was no longer the gratitude ambassador, but still considered an alumni ambassador,
Right.
I was missing the extra part of being able to support causes,
Hmm.
maybe causes that don't get enough recognition,
Right.
right? And I was like, well, this will be a way for me to highlight other organizations and other causes
Hmm.
that people really care about
Right.
to, give them more exposure. And
Okay.
especially for me, the mental health part of all of that is something I'm super passionate about. I had lost my brother to suicide. So anytime I can now use the platform, I
Right.
consider the podcast a platform
Right.
to talk about mental health and suicide prevention, I'm totally all about that.
Hmm.
Um, Also, I would say that it transformed a little bit because then I'm like, wait a minute, there's stories of transformation. Like I have my own story of transformation, but all these people, a lot of times you don't start out doing what you originally were doing out of
Right.
college or,
Hmm.
early adulthood, and you end up reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
And there are these stories of resilience. So it's transformation,
Right.
resilience, and how somebody found their path to purpose.
Amazing. So I don't want to gloss over what happened to you with your brother. When that happened, how long ago did that happen?
2003, so
Okay,
22
so
years. Yeah.
so when that happened, how did that impact you moving forward? I mean, obviously resilience and stuff, but how did you get through that? Because that to me is a defining moment as well.
Actually, I went into caregiver mode.
You did, okay.
I went into caregiver mode because I'm the oldest.
Hmm.
My brother was in the middle, and then I have a younger sister. So it was all about taking care of my parents, taking care of my sister, taking care of my kids. My kids were only 12 and 8
Oh wow.
when my brother died. And my oldest son was, even though we lived 3,000 miles away, he was still pretty close to his Uncle Mo.
Okay.
And it had a tremendous effect on him.
Wow.
Um, so it took me a year really before I started going through my own personal grieving process.
Hmm.
And now having several grief counselors on my podcast, I have learned so much more than I knew 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But I automatically was like, okay, what can I do with this tragedy, this trauma, and
Yeah, absolutely.
do something purposeful? And so then I started doing the Out of the Darkness community walks through the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. Took some courses. I tried to do the suicide hotline, to be one of those
Oh wow.
callers.
Yeah.
And I think it was 10 sessions, and I think I got to 8. And I was like, I can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
emotionally, I couldn't do it. And
Okay.
they're like, that's okay. Most people don't make it through the program, but there
Wow.
are plenty of other ways that you can be supportive. So,
Mhm. Wow, that's unbelievable. So fast forwarding now with the direct sales, how's that going for you now?
so, I still have, many customers. I
Mhm.
still have a team, but I'm not focused so much on the leadership role
Okay.
now as I was when I first started
Right,
with the
right.
company. Um, I'm more focused on the podcast
Okay, great.
and growing the podcast and what it can do and have some other ideas,
I
in the
I
works.
knew you would. You can't stick to one thing.
But we do have a book coming out next week.
What?
Yes.
Tell
So
me about it.
next week, Tuesday the 30th. I don't know when
Okay.
this will be out, but um, 21 women authors
Yeah.
sharing their story of finding their path to purpose in a
Wow. Perfect.
collaborative book
Uh-huh.
inspired by the podcast.
Okay.
So it's called Passion, Purpose, and Possibilities.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
So it's coming out on the 30th,
Yes.
up on Amazon.
Yes.
How are you doing it? Okay. All right. So the launch date is the 30th. All
Yes.
right. We got everybody. You guys gotta, geez, I don't know if I can get this out by then. Oh my God.
It's
The
okay. They can still go
pressure.
get it after.
Yeah, you get it after. All right. Well, the audience certainly has captured the essence of Candice Snyder. They're going to want to get in touch with you. And folks, Candice said the best way is on LinkedIn. So look up Candice Snyder on LinkedIn, and in the show notes, I'll have her LinkedIn handle, so you'll be able just to go straight to it and connect with her. I've got two final questions for you. Are you ready for these two final questions?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. First one. Picture that you're sitting in your happy place and you have the liberty of sitting down with young 7 to 10-year-old Candice Snyder, your younger self, and you want to give her advice about life. What are you going to tell her?
Tune out the noise and focus on what you love.
I love that. Wow. Tune out the noise and focus on what you love. Love it. All right, switch hats. Now you're sitting down with young Candice, the young businesswoman, young entrepreneur, and you want to give her advice about business. What are you going to tell her?
It's all about the relationships. Build relationships, and you'll be able to create whatever you want to create.
Love it, love it, love it. Wow. Very good advice, and people can take that both in their life and business, both of those pieces of advice.
This is true.
Well, Candice, I want to thank you for coming into my life and being who you are, because you're certainly helping a lot of people, especially with your podcast. And I admire you for your resilience and for your authenticity, and I appreciate that.
Thank you, Drew, for having me on here. I'm so glad that Rob connected us.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, you take care of yourself, Candice, and everybody
You
out
too.
there, please take care of yourselves. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe and give us a review to help others find it. I'd like you to answer this question. Are you living the life you want to live, or are you living the life others want you to live? I'd like you to think about that for a second, because I strongly suggest you live the life you want to live. If you want to learn more about what I stand for and my services and how I'm able to help many men get out of their own way, please go to my website at www.profitcompassion.com. Feel free to also email me at drew@profitcompassion.com. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Take care of yourself and choose to write your own story instead of letting others write it for you.